Hello friends, and welcome to another Metroidvania map announcement video. This one is for Kingdom Shell. But before we dive into that, a reminder that you can check out maps for all of these lovely games if you head to demajen.co.uk, where you can find my Metroidvania maps repository. There's 60 plus games here now, each with a completely free map. In fact, every single game that I've mapped has got free maps. The only game that has got an exclusive map is Ender Lilies, and that was simply because it was so blooming big that there was no way I could offer a free version of it. If the free versions, though, aren't good enough for you and you want even higher resolutions and higher quality, you can go to my coffee.com page, coffee.com/Demajen, where in the shop you will find quite a few maps that have got bigger, clearer, but no more information. I'm not that kind of person. There's nothing more on the maps in the coffee.com store. They're just bigger. And if you're using a 4K monitor, then maybe that's what you want. Or you can donate one time, or if you really want to, monthly. Not entirely sure why you donate monthly. There's no perks for doing so, but tossing me a one-time donation with a little message of encouragement and support is always very well received and very appreciated, because I'm a big narcissist and I like that kind of thing. That was a joke. Onwards to the map. This is the in-game 100% map for Kingdom Shell. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. It is a really solid Metroidvania map. It's well laid out. It's got different colours for the different areas. It's got secret rooms marked on in purple when you can find them. It's got the doors. It's got the save rooms. It's got the merchants that you can find and the jeweler. It is actually a really good, really well put together map. And this is what I started using when I started putting together my map. The only problem is that I put my maps together at about this scale. And you can probably see an issue with this. The walls and the kind of shadowy bordery type thing in the actual game takes up a lot of space. They're very chunky. And if I was going to make this look good, I'd have to put the icons and stuff really small within those things. So, whilst there is absolutely nothing wrong with this in-game map, I think it is one of the better in-game maps that I've seen for a Metroidvania in a while. I went and recreated it using the same kind of technique and process that I've been using for a lot of maps recently. So, my version of the map looks like this. And you can tell very easily that it is the same map. I've changed the colours ever so slightly. So for White Rocks, I've taken the kind of border colour and I've coloured that in there. Same goes for Top City. I've actually taken the blue outline and put that in there. But everything else is either the same or dulled down and muted down slightly. And the thing with this particular thing, and the reason why I keep using it, is because the borders are much thinner and I can fit more things in. Plus I've got all my doors and stuff that are... Oh, I've forgotten to put the walls in on that. I'll fix that. I can fit stuff in. Oh, that was very Midlandsy, wasn't it? I can fit stuff in. I can fit things into the rooms much easier using this style. Obviously, I'm not going to do this for every single map I ever do again. But as I said, there's literally nothing wrong with this map at all, except for when I was trying to fit things into the rooms. So this is actually version 1.2 of the Kingdom Shell map. It's taken me a little while to get around to doing this video because I've been working on the October Steam Next Fest stuff, but it has everything that you would expect from one of my maps. Let's zoom in. This is 50% of size, and it should still be pretty reasonable. Yes, reasonable and readable. So this is where you start your game. This is White Rocks, a very light, airy area with a lot of things secret-wise that you can find. A reasonably easy boss, well, 2 bosses actually, there's another one over here, to defeat, and quite a few places that you just can't get to. And you make your way through here, you defeat the Wyvern, you get the Crystal Bell, and actually you can't get through here at all. Instead, you make your way down into the Gnome's Cave. So you go from this light, airy, overground place to this reasonably dark, gnome-filled, hence the name, Gnome Caves, where, again, you can find lots of chests, you can find lots of secrety bits to find. It's a reasonably well-designed game in terms of its progression. Apart from a few niggles that I have with the game's healing system on the normal difficulty. But I don't want to talk too much about the problems that I had because the developer is in the process of fixing up a lot of the issues. I mean, one of my biggest critiques was that the attack range on your melee attack felt far too short. But that's literally already been fixed. It's one of the reasons why I'm not showing any footage that I've got of the game, because mine is all from version 1 of the game, and that is 4 patches at this point out of date. In fact, to a certain extent, this map is actually out of date, because at some point you get the ability to teleport between these red save rooms, and when I got it here. But I believe that has already been changed, and I haven't played through the game again, because it would be my 3rd playthrough at this point, to check actually whereabouts you get it. It might, I believe it's fairly early on. So anyway, all of the things that you might expect from one of my maps is here. We've got your save rooms marked, you've got your trader rooms marked, you've got your secret rooms marked. The game is full of chests containing currency. There's loads of chests containing currency because, again, at the time I played, when you die, you lose some of your currency because the little kind of magical beings inside the save points bring you back. Now, in the latest patch, it may not even be the latest patch by the time this video comes out, but in the latest patch, the dev specifically said that the penalty for death has been lowered. So maybe you don't lose as much currency, but it was a percentage of your currency. It wasn't a high percentage, but it was a percentage of your currency. So there's loads of treasure chests all over the place that you can get currency from. And you'll see there's a lot of them. And that sometimes meant that exploring didn't feel massively rewarding at times. But that was a fairly minor gripe, because you'll see that actually all of the secret places have got either the inspirations, which are these things with the purple background, which are basically charms from Hollow Knight, except you don't get as many charm slots or perception slots, I think they're called. You can get HP ups, which are super important in this game. You can get MP ups, which are also fairly important, because there's a chunk of balance between melee attacks and magic attacks in this. You kind of have to use both. We've got key items, which we've got green names and green backgrounds. Inspirations have got purple backgrounds and blue names. I tried doing it actually with the light blue, because the light blue and charms are kind of what I've associated together since Hollow Knight. These icons actually don't look very good with the lighter blue background, so I went against that in the end. We've got the inventory of the shops marked on. We've got notes about the jeweler, which is where you can upgrade your weapon. These black hairs are NPCs that you can rescue. Try and get to them as fast as you can, because it is they who are responsible for improving your healing capabilities. But the zones themselves are pretty interesting, pretty cool, if I'm honest. It was just the actual gameplay that I found was letting it down. So this is a beautiful area, light, airy. This is kind of dark and cavernous and spiky. The Witch's Forest is lush and green, as you would expect. The Dead Forest is... well, it's a forest, but it's dead. The Deep has got loads of magma and lava. The lava, unfortunately, is a one-hit kill no matter how much health you've got left. I am hoping at some point that the dev changes that to be more like the kind of bottomless pits that you can fall in that just respawn you. I'm not entirely sure why they've made a distinction. Maybe that will get changed. This area, Nether City... this was one of those areas that there's nothing wrong with the area design or anything. It's just that it doesn't look very good in comparison to the rest of the game, and especially in comparison to Top City and the Royal Palace, which features some absolutely beautiful pixel art. Now, as I said, I started the game on normal difficulty, and I went through White Rocks, because I can speak, and I went through Gnome's Caves, and I went through Old Witch's Forest, all on normal difficulty, and I was getting frustrated. In fact, I got to Nether City, and it was the gauntlet elevator up into Top City that finally did me in. I was just getting so annoyed by that point with the short range and the lack of healing. Again, much of which has been fixed. So I restarted the game on easy, and obviously because I'd always started with the map together at that point, I kind of breezed through these areas in about half the time. I even managed to do a little bit more exploring. And then I got to Nether City, and I got through the elevator section, and I got into Top City, and Top City, for me, is where the game really opens up, because it is Top City where you get your movements abilities. There are no movement abilities in White Rocks, Gnome's Caves, or Old Witch's Forest. You can get some spells which allow you to interact with certain things which can kind of open bridges and gates for you, but in terms of double jump and in terms of air dash, they are in the second kind of half of the game. And for me, and I know part of it was because I was on the easier difficulty, but Top City and Royal Palace were what I wanted. Or, in fact, they are what I want from a Metroidvania. The combat was much better, the abilities were great, the kind of traversal around the map was much improved because of the addition of double jump. Although I still think the actual second jump kind of plateaus a little bit too, or hits the top of its arc a little bit too quickly. But the mechanics and the pixel art, especially in these areas, was great. And the story, such as it is, took on a slightly more dark and emotional tone, which really improved things for me. And I think most of the good stuff that you get, ability-wise and upgrade-wise, is all in these two areas. And then you can go back and explore the Deep and the Dead Forest, and eventually the Tower of Dreams, which is where you end the game. So your progression is White Rocks, Gnome's Cave, Old Witch's Forest, Nether City, Top City to get some stuff, then back round and up to get your air dash after you've done the Royal Palace, and then Dead Forest and the Deep. I think you can probably do those in either order, and then you have to go up to the Tower of Dreams. You'll notice that there's a couple of places on the map where I've actually included screenshots from the game in terms of, well, how do I get to this item? Rather than having a big kind of text description, the text description is there. I've actually put a picture in as well. This room down here has got an actual screenshot of the room, because it was far too complicated to try and describe exactly what you were supposed to do here. So I have instead attempted to, and this is 100% size on the map, I've attempted to show you the routes that you take to get through here. Though it doesn't take the chests into account. You have to go slightly off the beaten track to do those. But that's the kind of critical path to get through into the Forest Witch's room here. It just says, this room is a maze of traps and levers. That's initially what it said. And then I discovered that I can actually kind of rip this from the game files. So I did so. The second half of the game for me on easy was a much better experience than the kind of first half of the game was for me on normal. But again, I don't want to labour that point. It is a game that, with a few more tweaks to the early game healing system on what is labelled as the normal difficulty, it's not there yet, but once tweaks have been made to that, I think I will be able to recommend it. As of right now, if you just want to play on easy, yes, go for it. You'll get a good 8 to 12 hours without the map. With the map, it won't take you that long on the easy difficulty. But there's a big gulf right now between easy and normal. Great second half. Good first half in terms of level design, in terms of progression. But the difficulty curve, not quite there. Kingdom Shell. Yeah, I will tentatively recommend it if you play it on the normal mode, but I feel there's still a chunk of recipe for frustration there. Great map though, really good, lots of secrets, things are gated quite well and get you zipping all over the place. And as I said, there's nothing actually wrong with the in-game map. It's got borders that are too thick to be conducive for the kind of maps that I make. So, you know, no shade thrown at the developer for that. Thank you very much for watching, folks. I appreciate that. I said I wasn't going to talk too much about the game, and actually I've ended up talking for 19 minutes. How very, very me. Cheers for the support. Have yourselves a great day. I'll catch you all in the next one. Cheerio. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, why not click the like button and consider subscribing. Remember, you can ring the bell notification icon to get notified when new videos go live. And until next time, cheerio.